Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine just because of a single word? A word that, just by hearing it, makes you feel a sense of unease creeping in? That word is evil. Evil, the word itself, evokes an indescribable feeling, something not easily defined, yet we recognize it immediately, without even seeing it. In fact, we don't even need to witness any specific actions. Just feeling it is enough to make us shudder. The scary truth about evil is that it never announces itself. It hides skillfully, masked by smiles, false acts of kindness, and meticulously crafted facades. But what's even more concerning is that evil doesn't just lurk in dark alleys or behind locked doors. It can sprout even in the places we trust most: schools, churches, and even within the homes of our friends. It is this silent, creeping, and difficult-to-detect presence that makes evil so incredibly dangerous. The moment you finally see through the mask, recognizing the darkness hidden behind a dazzling facade, everything changes. Evil doesn't retreat, it reacts. It begins to reveal its true nature in ways you can't anticipate. And believe me, it's not just in words, but in actions. When evil knows you've uncovered its secret, it will retaliate, not with brute force, but with calculated, manipulative tactics designed to confuse, frighten, and control you. In this video, we will uncover the secrets behind these behaviors. Drawing on the timeless philosophies of Stoicism, we will dissect 7 specific actions that those carrying the seeds of evil often take when they realize you've seen their true face. This is not just about recognizing the signs. It's about understanding them, maintaining your calm, and staying steadfast. Knowledge is your most powerful weapon, and by the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to identify, resist, and protect yourself from their schemes. Let's face the darkness together, not with fear, but with clarity and unwavering courage. 1. Strange vibrations. We begin with a sign that is often overlooked. Strange vibrations. These aren't just fleeting sensations, but a deep instinct, an invisible alarm bell ringing in your soul. We live in a sea of energy, where everything around us, even people, emits their own frequencies. When you encounter someone with ill intentions, their negative energy not only affects your mind, but also permeates the space around you, making you feel uneasy. Have you ever walked into a room and felt uncomfortable without being able to explain why? That's not your imagination. Those are the vibrations. Toxic people are often masters of subtlety. When they realize you've seen through their veneer, their behavior will change in noticeable ways. Smiles that once seemed genuine become forced. Questions suddenly become invasive, making you feel like they're trying to expose you. Every word, every gesture carries a hidden message. I won't let you get away so easily. These vibrations not only make you uneasy, but are also a deliberate strategy, a manipulation designed to regain control. I experienced this in the workplace. A colleague I once trusted revealed their true nature: selfish, envious, and scheming. When I realized their true face and started to keep my distance, they didn't confront me directly, but switched to a different tactic. They began asking unnecessary questions, monitoring my every move, and even spreading rumors to tarnish my reputation. Initially, this kept me up at night with stress, but I realized that the best way to deal with it was not to retaliate, but to stay calm and steadfast. I learned to ignore their negative vibrations and focus on my work. Surprisingly, when I stopped reacting, their influence began to fade. Stoic philosophy offers an important lesson for moments like these. Epictetus once said, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by how we interpret it." The truth is that strange vibrations and negative energy cannot harm you unless you allow them to. When faced with manipulative behavior, the most important thing is to maintain inner calm. Those unsettling vibrations are just a test of your resilience, an opportunity to demonstrate that your calmness and wisdom are stronger than any ill intentions. In life, we are always in contact with countless different types of energy. Being able to recognize and distinguish negative vibrations is an important skill. I believe that sometimes our intuition tells us things that reason hasn't yet caught up with. Don't ignore those feelings of unease. Listen to them and take precautions. I myself have been in similar situations, and I have found that staying calm is key to overcoming these challenges. Have you ever felt like this? Has someone's presence ever made you feel uncomfortable for no reason? How did you handle it? Share your story in the comments. By connecting and learning from each other, we can discover ways to maintain inner peace, even when facing the most difficult situations. 2. Lying to cover previous lies. The second sign is lying to cover previous lies. A lie is like a spider web, intricately woven, from which even the weaver cannot escape. Every lie not only conceals the truth, but adds another thread to this tangled web, making everything more complex. When people with ill intentions realize their truth has been exposed, they never choose to confront it. Instead, they will lie more, creating new layers of deceit to try to regain control. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." This is completely true for people who live by lies. They not only deceive others, but also imprison themselves in ignorance, blurring their ability to see the light of truth. In reality, we have all encountered lies. Sometimes we are not completely honest ourselves. Research shows that an average person lies 1 to 2 times a day. These are often small lies, like jokes or trying to avoid hurting others' feelings. But people with ill intentions do not lie to protect others' feelings. They lie to protect themselves, cover up their wrongdoings, and safeguard personal gain. When a lie is discovered, instead of admitting it, they continue to deny it and create a series of fabrications to justify the initial deception. This leads to a vicious cycle, in which each new lie ensnares them deeper in betrayal. Such people not only break trust, but also betray themselves. Deep down, they know that every lie distances them further from the truth and deeper into the abyss of dishonesty. Deception not only destroys relationships, but also erodes self-worth. I once had a close friend, someone I trusted implicitly. He came to me with a story of financial difficulties and asked for a short-term loan to help him through a tough time. Trusting him, I didn't hesitate to lend him the money. But then, I discovered that he hadn't used the money as he said he would, but instead had spent it on luxuries. When I confronted him, he didn't admit it, but denied everything and fabricated another story to cover up his actions. He blamed the circumstances, blamed others, and even tried to make me feel guilty for doubting him. This made me realize that for such people, trust is not something they value. They are willing to break it to harm those around them, as long as it serves their purpose. I have always believed that honesty is the foundation of every good relationship. A lie, no matter how small, can damage trust and cause serious consequences. Confronting the truth may be difficult, but it is always the best way to build mutual trust and respect. I also find that people who frequently lie often have a deep sense of insecurity within. They fear the truth and always try to hide it with lies. Have you ever faced a similar situation? What did you do when someone lied to you? Do you have any advice for those facing deception? Please share your thoughts in the comments. 3. Only show up when they need something. The third sign is that they only show up when they need something. Have you ever felt like you're just a pit stop on someone else's journey? They appear when they need you the most with sweet words and sincere gestures, but as soon as they get what they want, they disappear without hesitation. This makes you wonder if your kindness has been taken advantage of. People like this are never truly concerned about you. They only care about what they can exploit from the relationship. And when they realize you've seen through their true face, their actions become more calculated and deliberate. At first, they make you believe they are reliable companions, always there when you need them. But when you begin to see their dark side, it's clear they only appear when there's something to gain, and when you need them, they are nowhere to be found. These people are like opportunists, always calculating their moves. When there is nothing left to gain, they retreat, leaving you feeling betrayed and hurt. What's even more disappointing is that when things cool down, they'll come back with insincere apologies and perfect excuses, hoping to make you believe their absence was due to circumstances, not intentional. They rely on your forgiveness to let them back into your life. But remember that their return isn't because they value you, but to seize another opportunity to exploit your kindness. I once worked with a colleague who seemed very supportive of me in projects. He did not hesitate to work overtime or give useful advice, which made me think he was a reliable ally. But then, one day, I experienced a major crisis at work and needed someone to stand by my side. He was completely silent, providing no support, no gesture of concern. He just stood at a distance, avoiding any trouble. After I resolved the issue myself, he reappeared with excuses, saying he was too busy or didn't want to add to my stress. It was then that I realized he wasn't a true ally, but was only there when it benefited him. I believe that sincerity and genuine care are vital in any relationship. A true friend will always be there for you, not just when you succeed, but also when you face challenges. They won't exploit you and won't disappear when you need them most. Sometimes we can be blinded by sweet words and generous gestures, but always remember that actions are the true measure of a person. Have you ever experienced something similar? Please share your story with us. Together, we can learn how to protect our inner peace and build relationships that truly matter. 4. Try to make you feel stupid. The fourth sign is that they try to make you feel stupid. Have you ever confided in someone about your pain or difficulties, only to hear responses like, "Why didn't you see that sooner?" or "Why did you do that?" These seemingly harmless remarks carry an invisible burden, making you feel small, ashamed, and even blaming yourself for not being good enough. This is not the empathy you were hoping for. It's a subtle psychological blow. In that moment, they've achieved their goal, making you feel weak, isolated, and more susceptible to manipulation. Toxic people often use this tactic to maintain control over others. They want you to doubt yourself, your abilities, and your worth. And when you fall into that trap, you become more easily influenced by them. What's scary is that they do this not to build a genuine relationship, but to keep you in their sphere of control, where they can continue to manipulate you unchallenged. Rather than being true companions, they become masters of control, hiding their true nature behind sharp words and actions disguised as concern. Stoic philosophy offers a clear perspective on this situation. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Insults, mockery, or attempts to make you feel stupid can only affect you if you allow them into your mind. A Stoic will not react with anger or sorrow. They will step back, observe the situation as an outsider, and remind themselves that true worth does not come from the words of others, but from inner peace and self-respect. I remember a story from my own life. On a trip abroad, I met a new friend. At first, he seemed very caring and always ready to help. But every time I shared a decision or an idea, he would make comments that made me feel incompetent. Comments like, "Why didn't you think further?" or "That's so obvious," kept popping up, and I started doubting my own abilities. But over time, I realized he wasn't a true friend. He wasn't interested in helping me grow, but only wanted to control how I felt about myself. Stoic philosophy taught me how to overcome these situations. Instead of letting his words hurt me, I learned to keep my mind steady and not let my emotions overwhelm me. I realized that my response was the only thing I could control. From then on, I was no longer affected by his negative comments and no longer felt the need to seek validation from someone who was trying to belittle me. I believe that everyone has their own value and potential. No one has the right to make you feel stupid or incompetent. Always trust in yourself and don't let anyone steal your self-confidence and peace of mind. Learning how to protect yourself from criticism and attempts to belittle others is an important skill for maintaining mental health. Interactive question. Do you have a similar story to share? What did you do to overcome those situations? Let's learn and share valuable experiences together. 5. Show up with a new facade. The fifth sign is that they show up with a new facade. Have you ever looked at someone and thought they were truly the embodiment of deception and cruelty? If your answer is yes, then you are not alone. The evil in people is not always revealed through actions or words. Instead, it often hides beneath the perfect guise of kindness, convincing you that they are just ordinary people. But the scariest thing isn't how they hide their true nature, but how they manipulate your perceptions, making you doubt yourself and the truths you've uncovered. People with ill intentions are not just bad people. They are masters of disguise, skilled in psychological games you don't even realize you're being drawn into. When they discover you've seen through them, they won't confront the truth. Instead, they'll act quickly to change how you see them. It won't be a sincere apology, but a new story created with intricate details and emotional undertones designed to make you think you misunderstood them. Imagine you have a colleague known for being deceitful and untrustworthy. One day, you confront them, and instead of admitting their actions, they tell you a moving story about a painful past and how they have changed. It sounds so convincing that you begin to doubt yourself. But this is their strategy, creating confusion and making you doubt your judgment. I have experienced this. Someone I trusted implicitly turned out to be manipulative and deceptive. When I uncovered the truth, instead of admitting their wrongdoings, they wove an elaborate tale to alter my perception of them. For a long time, I was stuck in self-doubt, wondering if I was too harsh or if I had judged them unfairly. But eventually, I realized that all the explanations, all the stories were just a smokescreen to conceal the truth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." People with ill intentions understand this clearly. If they can manipulate your thoughts, they can control your perception and actions. But Stoic philosophy teaches us an important lesson. Maintain a clear mind. Don't let fleeting emotions or fabricated stories cloud your judgment. When someone goes to great lengths to rebuild their reputation after being caught, remember that it is rarely sincere regret. It's another tactic to maintain control. Evil doesn't just change its appearance, but leaves a sense of unease, a vague discomfort that you can't explain. When you feel this, trust your instincts. Pay attention to the signals your heart is sending, because they may be your most valuable warnings. Don't be fooled by elaborate stories or carefully concealed facades. Always be vigilant, question everything, and protect the truth within your mind. I believe that vigilance and the ability to recognize deceptive behaviors are very important. Sometimes we can be blinded by glamorous appearances and moving stories, but always listen to your intuition and don't hesitate to ask questions. Protecting the truth and maintaining your stance is essential to avoid being manipulated and deceived. What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever met anyone who changed their facade suspiciously? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. 6. Pretend they don't know who they are. The sixth sign is that they pretend they don't know who they are. Have you ever wondered how to recognize someone who is deliberately hiding their true nature? This isn't just an interesting question. It's also a survival skill in today's complex world. When exposed, toxic people rarely face the truth honestly. Instead, they will deploy their most cunning strategy, pretending to be innocent, pretending not to know, or even playing the victim. Their aim is to deceive you into thinking they were completely unaware of the harm they caused, making you confused and doubt your own feelings. This behavior is not just a denial of responsibility, but a form of toxic psychological manipulation. For example, you might express your pain, hoping for an apology, but instead they respond with a sarcastic question like, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" This not only invalidates your feelings, but also places the blame on you. It isn't just cleverness, it is a calculated act to make you feel guilty, as if you were the one who was wrong. I experienced something similar when living in a new place. I had a friend who I initially thought was trustworthy, but they took advantage of my kindness. When I finally realized their behavior and confronted them, they pretended to know nothing at all. "Oh, I didn't know you felt that way. Why didn't you say something sooner?" they said with a tone that was both innocent and indifferent. In that moment, I not only felt hurt, but also as if my understanding of reality was being distorted. They made me doubt whether I was being too sensitive. But after some reflection, I realized that this was how they controlled me, manipulating me to avoid responsibility. Stoic philosophy teaches us that how we react to such situations is what truly matters. Epictetus said that we are disturbed not by events, but by our interpretation of them. Toxic people may try to distort the truth, but you don't have to let them define your feelings or experiences. You have every right to stand firm in your truth and values. Don't let their deception sway you. These people will always find ways to evade consequences, playing the innocent victim to create confusion and make you doubt yourself. But the key is to maintain your ground and not let them erode your confidence in the truth. Stoicism reminds us that real power lies in self-control and resilience. By protecting the truth and resisting emotional manipulation, you can overcome the challenges they create. Remember that the truth is always the guiding light that will carry you through even the darkest of times. I believe that recognizing and avoiding those who pretend to be innocent is very important for protecting your mental health. These people tend to blame others and don't take responsibility for their actions. Staying confident and trusting in the truth is key to not being deceived and manipulated. Have you ever encountered a similar situation? Do you have any advice for those facing pretense of innocence? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. 7. Try to manipulate you. The seventh and final sign is that they try to manipulate you. Manipulation is like a silent but devastating storm, shaking your self-confidence and stripping you of control over your own life. Manipulators aren't always openly aggressive. They often hide behind a perfect guise of kindness, caring, or even love. But don't be deceived by the appearance. They use subtle tactics to control your emotions, making you feel isolated, doubting yourself, and ultimately dependent on them. Imagine a loved one who constantly expresses concern and worry in every situation. They check on you, offer advice, and insist that they only want what's best for you. But hidden behind those words is a darker motive. Their advice isn't meant to help you grow, but to make you doubt yourself. A woman once shared with me the story of her mother. Whenever she wanted to start a new relationship, her mother would gently say, "Are you sure they won't hurt you? Think about all the mistakes you've made before." These seemingly concerned words instilled fear in her, eroded her self-confidence, and ultimately made her give up promising opportunities in her life. Manipulators like this are masters at using emotional intelligence to control you. They not only identify your weaknesses, but also turn them into weapons to make you feel helpless, small, and ultimately dependent on them. They might even disguise their manipulative actions as kindness, convincing you that they are the only ones you can trust. But in reality, they are slowly controlling your life step by step in a calculated way. In Stoic philosophy, true happiness does not come from seeking approval from others, but from mastering your own mind. Allowing someone to manipulate you means giving up your freedom and becoming a puppet in their hands. This is something a Stoic would never accept, as personal freedom is a core, non-negotiable value. One of the common tactics of manipulators is to make you feel inadequate. They make you believe that you can't handle anything on your own, that without them, your life will fall into chaos. A man once shared that his wife often said to him, "You can't take care of the children yourself. What do you know besides earning money?" Hearing these words day after day, he began to lose faith in his abilities, to the point where he wouldn't make any decision without her approval. Liberating yourself from manipulation requires setting firm boundaries and protecting them at all costs. When you say no, stand your ground. When you set a limit, don't let anyone change it. Stoic philosophy reminds us that while we can't control the actions of others, we always have control over how we react to them. And that is your true power. No one can take it from you unless you allow them to. Remember that manipulation only works if you let it. A self-controlled and determined mind is never swayed by the psychological games of others. This is the time for you to stand up, regain control over your life, and refuse to play their game. Don't let pain turn you into a puppet. Let it be the strength you need to liberate yourself. I believe that recognizing and resisting manipulation is incredibly important for protecting individual freedom and happiness. Always stand your ground, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take control of your life. Building strong boundaries and protecting them is one of the best ways to avoid manipulation. What advice do you have for those who are being manipulated? What have you learned from your own experiences? Please share your thoughts and stories in the comments. So, we've explored 7 different behaviors that toxic people often exhibit when they realize you've seen through their true nature. These signs not only help you understand the intentions hidden behind their appearances, but also empower you to protect yourself from their harmful influence. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true power lies in maintaining inner calm and self-control. No one can truly harm you if you know how to protect your mind and your will. Remember this: toxic people will always try to manipulate and control you, but your real strength lies in not letting them shatter your peace of mind. Each time you refuse to let them control your emotions, you not only protect your serenity, but also reinforce your self-respect and autonomy. Let the lessons from this video become a part of your mental armor, equipping you to face life's challenges with wisdom and courage. Before we conclude, let me ask you this: what in today's content has awakened you? Do you feel better equipped to recognize and confront toxic people around you? If this video has added value to your life, please hit the like button and share it to spread these important lessons to those who might need them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so we can continue on this journey of nurturing inner peace and self-mastery together. Finally, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you encountered these signs in your life? How did you overcome them? Your story may be a powerful inspiration for others. Until next time, stay strong, be steadfast, and always protect your inner peace.